Hello, everyone. I'm Marty Janeski, and this time I'm with Odds Jones, or Joel Atkins, another good buddy of ours. He's generally behind the camera, helps fill in. You filled in on every show but the science guys. Is that the deal?
Yeah, I'm not qualified to speak on that show.
Is that how it is? Well, you could say, well, I've seen something once.
Yeah. I've looked up at the sky a time or two.
I missed out. We got back from Vegas the week before, the 10th, and I missed the Northern Lights show. That was a bummer because my wife's been chasing the Northern Lights. She's been wanting to see them. And they were right here in our backyard.
Yeah, I went out, took the family out. We drove down to Point Moulet. We saw them a little bit. It wasn't a dazzling light show, but I know people who went a little ways out in the area, and they saw quite a show.
Yeah, it's supposed to be pretty cool. Well, today's May 28th, and a lot is starting. Big weekend in sports as far as baseball and softball districts are going to kick off. Some of them are kicking off today, the pre-district rounds, but the regular rounds are June 1st. And plenty of places. But in the meantime, let's start with rowing.
Okay.
We got a couple of girls, Carlson's Danica Sweats and Tilly Opelt. They won a state title at the Michigan State Championships. I believe they're third or fourth as a pair.
Yeah, it says here the duo for Carlson was also part of a third place finish elsewhere in the varsity 4 times, joining teammates Paige Hall and Alyssa Raffin. The 2 top 3 finishes on the women's side were on the 5 events in which Carlson competed in the finals of the state championships. The other 3 happened on the men's side of the ledger, including 5th place in varsity 2 and 8th place in both varsity 1 times and junior 4 times.
How's your rowing? There were 30 schools participating. Dearborn Heights, Crestwood, Gibraltar, Carlson, Grosse Ile, Riverview, Trenton, Wyandotte, Roosevelt. And Carlson, with the girls winning, finished 11th out of 27 schools.
Yeah.
That's pretty good for them, while the Bears were 19th overall. And I will say this, that Sweats and Opelt, first place honors in the varsity 2 event, and then it's the 4th state title in a row for those 2 girls, and the 3rd state title in a row with them rowing together. So they must have got a state title in St. I don't know how that works. One's going, let's see, Danica's going to the University of Tulsa, and Opelt is going to Grand Valley State to continue their rowing careers.
Tulsa, Oklahoma.
Yeah, I don't know how big a rowing you could have in Tulsa, Oklahoma.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I don't know the geography down there in Tulsa. I'll assume they have a river somewhere.
Well, yeah, every state's divided by rivers pretty much. Let's see. No school competed in more final heats, the state finals, than Roosevelt High. Even though they were 19th overall, they had 8 divisions play in the final 8 rowing matches, which good for them. And they finished the women's side 11th out of 27 schools. And good for them, They said 5 of those finals in the states were on the women's side. So the boys got 3. And then Grosse Ile appeared in 3 final heats. And you would think Grosse Ile and rowing would be solid.
Yeah.
Because they generally are.
They live on an island.
They're working out of this building here.
Yeah, right.
The street too. There's 8 schools working out of there, and Riverview and Trenton got themselves into the mix with a pair of final heats. They were, just varsity 4s and the junior 2s. So good showing for the Carlson girls that are they're moving on to further their careers. If you can get your college education paid for by rowing, that's a pretty good gig.
Yeah, any way you can get it paid for. If you scholarship playing sports or Academics, whatever you can get it
Whatever
paid
you-
with. Take the money.
Dang, I gotta turn my
Get the
phone off.
education paid for. I knew a guy, played roller hockey with a guy, hulking defenseman. I'd estimate him at 6'4". He could feed
Like me.
feed you tape-to-tape passes every time. He was physically imposing. Had a scholarship to play hockey at Western. Didn't want to go to school.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's interesting. Well, what are you going to do? College isn't for everyone.
No,
There's plenty of gigs out there.
but even, like not going crazy, and not everyone's NHL bound, but guy had the size and skill, probably, certainly to play college hockey and probably to play pro at some level.
Yeah.
I'm taking it if that's me.
Right. I mean, I mean, it's a nice gig if you can get it. We
Yeah.
say that all the time. Not everybody has the hand-eye. First of all, you watch the NFL playoffs, and I mean, it's been stellar television when it comes to the playoffs because of the skill set. Let's just start there. The hand-eye coordination of like everybody on the ice.
Yeah.
There might be one guy who's 20th on that team in stick handling and shooting, but he's still better than everybody you've ever met.
Yeah.
You know what I
Yeah.
mean? And that's all these guys that played hockey, juniors and all that stuff. They were one bad coach from being in the NHL. Yeah.
Well, and an interesting note there, even you look at a fourth liner, like in the NHL, some of those guys in junior were 50 goal scorers.
Correct.
But when they took that next level, they were no longer 50 goal scorers, and they had to change their game to stay in the league. And credit to them for being able to accept a checking line role.
Yeah.
Not everyone's going to be a 40, 50 goal scorer.
I remember that saying, I remember just years ago watching TV, and they said, yeah, Sean Burr. We had Sean Burr on the wings for all them years, and in juniors, he lit it up. But in the pros, I don't know if he had one or two 20-goal seasons because the game's faster.
Yeah.
Everybody's faster, everybody's stronger, everybody's, can fire the puck. So, yeah.
Yeah.
But it is great hockey. And what do we got tonight?
Rangers and Panthers, Game 4 in Florida.
2-1
2-1 New York.
Rangers.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's been a couple overtime games, right? I
Yeah,
think.
well, New York's got that overtime playoff magic going right now. They look like a team going to the finals, but we'll see.
We'll see. All right, we'll go to golf because we have a Riverview native and Divine Child grad, Julia Lysak. She made a run at the NCAA Women's Golf Championships because she qualified after 2 rounds, got to play 2 more, but then it didn't quite work out after that for her.
Yeah, it says here she capped off her individual run at the 2024 NCAA Division III Championships with a score of 78 on Friday to finish tied for 36th overall in the field of 150 golfers at Keene Trace Golf Club.
I believe that she probably had to get to top 16 or 32. It would have been one of those 2 numbers to get you into the playoffs.
Yeah. Says here further down, Allison Takamiya used a 2-under par 70 to climb to the top of the leaderboard and claim the individual national championship with a 4-day score of 288. Not a hole in one, but
No, yeah.
Not bad.
No, I'm
Not
still
bad.
on a little high for the
I
hole in
don't
one.
blame you.
That was fun. I haven't gotten back to the club to see what they're going to get for me. I like I said, I think I get the flag from the hole. I got the ball. I'm going to gaudy up some kind of award
Sure.
and hang it in my showroom. I know that. I can have my buddy Tom Clark make me like a shadow box thing with everything in it, or I can just take a picture and shove it up on the wall like I have now and with the ball on a holder. Miss Lysak, she shot 307, which ties the program record for her school, best 72-hole score in a championship event, which she matched All-American Doyle O'Brien's 307, which was shot in 2012. And she was just the 3rd golfer in program history to compete at the NCAA championships as an individual. There was an All-American Megan Mattia in 06 and Hunter Kehoe in 21. She's the 2nd golfer for the Bells, and like I say, she was a Divine Child kid, to qualify for the right to play as an individual. So, I mean, she obviously could stripe it. without a doubt.
Yeah, I never played golf on a team. Played a little recreationally. Enjoyed it, but I did not have the temperament to be to be a good golfer.
Golf is hard.
It is.
The debate last week about 300 game easier or a hole-in-one easier. You know, I've got a few 300s, you know, not to brag. There's guys that have 70, 80, 100, and I've got like 12. You got to throw 12 really good shots. You know, hole-in-one, you can blade it, and it can roll all the way up there and go in the hole.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
there's 80-year-old men with hole-in-ones, you know. It just the hole's got to get in the way, and that was my whole saying last week. You know, it was nice that the hole got in the way once.
Yeah.
Then I joked on I joked with my friends. I was texting and I said, "Well, it only took 1,587,248 swings, you know, to finally get one."
There you go.
But that was cool, very cool, and good. Congrats to Julia, and I believe she's a sophomore at St. Mary's,
Oh,
so she's got a couple more
Yeah.
years to get a little bit better. And I say we head into the playoff pairings for
Okay.
the boys in baseball. I mean, there wasn't a lot of schedule going on. I will say in softball, the Wyandotte girls beat Belleville on the 22nd, 6 days ago. But after that, I mean, really, they didn't play much going out down the stretch here. Now, there are games going today, but there's no Wyandotte playing. Allen Park's got airport.
and weather could be an issue today.
Oh, today it's right now. It was pouring at my house, but when I pulled up to the studio, it was a light sprinkle.
Making its way here.
Yes.
Yeah.
So in District 1, Division 1, I'm sorry, this Division 1, District 17 is the one that we're interested in. Brownstown Woodhaven is host. And at 10 a.m., the June 1st, in baseball, Wyandotte Roosevelt's got to take on Gibraltar Carlson. And this next game will be Brownstown Woodhaven versus Taylor at 12:30, and then at 3 o'clock the championship game, and that's how you get out of Division 1 to District 17.
Am I here at the top here, Marty?
Yeah.
So it's Saturday, June 1st. Also have Summit Riverview versus Southgate Anderson, and then Trenton versus Grozeal.
And then in District 18 Division 1, I say Dearborn High and Dearborn Heights Crestwood. And then in the other semifinal is Wayne Memorial and Edsel Ford. So that's interesting, little pairing there. And the championship game, this one is actually the next day. They start today. They're starting today.
Oh, are they?
Dearborn High versus Dearborn Heights. Oh, I see. There's a play-in game today. Dearborn High and Dearborn Heights, Crestwood, and then the winner of that game plays Wayne, probably the number 1 seed, and Edsel Ford and Westland John Glenn, and then the championship game.
Okay.
That's some solid teams there. Westland John Glenn's always solid, from what I know,
Yeah.
which I don't know much.
We got Division II, District 53. Semifinal number 1, Dearborn Henry Ford Academy versus Melvindale. And they will play the winner of River Rouge versus Dearborn Heights Annapolis, with the championship game being at 2 o'clock Saturday, June 1st.
Also on the 1st, this Allen Park is hosting. They're playing Dearborn Fordson, and Lincoln Park's playing Detroit Western. And the 2 winners of those games will hit it at 3 o'clock. And I think the weekend weather is supposed to be great.
Division II, District 54, same day, June 1st. Dearborn Divine Child will take on Garden City for the right to go to the 2:30 championship game that day. Nice. They'll take on the winner of Detroit Cody versus Dearborn Heights Robichaud.
And I've got Flat Rock hosting Monroe Jefferson, and New Boston Huron and Carlton Airport. So those 4 teams will be battling it out. Under the lights, though, we've got a 2 o'clock semifinal, a 4:30 semifinal, and then a 7 o'clock. There must be lights in Flat Rock.
Must be. Division 4, District 127, quarterfinal game, 4 p.m. This is today. This is possibly already happened. Allen Park Inner City Baptist took on Detroit Academy of the Americas. And that championship game, also Saturday, June 1st, the championship game will take place.
So there was a pre-game today, pre-district,
Yes.
I like to call
Yep.
them.
Yep.
And something interesting happened in the softball world this week. Division I, state-ranked, number 10 team, Woodhaven, was playing Division I, number 6 ranked team, Allen Park, in the state rankings. And they were playing for the Downriver League title. And Woodhaven came out on top, 10-9. Woodhaven scored 2 in the second, 8 in the third, and that held on. They're actually in the top of the 6th inning. Allen Park brought it to 10-9, and the third out was made with bases loaded. So they switched pitchers for Woodhaven, and the girl got the final out, and then got 3 outs in the bottom of the 7th or top of the 7th to end it. But this is Woodhaven's first solo title in the Downriver League in softball ever. They split it with Allen Park last year, but in this game, which happened, I believe, earlier the week. Oh no, it's Tuesday. It probably happened on Thursday. Oh, Tuesday, last Tuesday. Yeah, when we were filming, and they both had 1 loss in the league. And they were battling it out. In Allen Park, I said, they didn't quit. They kept battling in a 10-9 final. So Woodhaven split the league with them last season. Mm-hmm. And this year, they're the first time in their school history. And Allen Park has won the league in softball every year since 2009 and 10.
Wow.
So that's about 15 years worth. 14, depending on the math.
It's a lot of business for you, though, right?
Yes. It's funny because it is high school season and we are very busy, and I took a vacation, and it's a dumb thing to do when we're really busy. But the schools don't do a whole lot. They do a little bit, like I have to do their regional trophies with all the names, and they sit in their showcases. But they don't do a whole lot. Like Wyandotte does like 4 plaques. They do a the Bear of the Year on your team. They do Most Improved. They do Most Valuable, and they do a Coaches Award.
Okay.
So that's 4 for every spring team. So I might do 20 some plaques, and they have the plaques. All I do is play them and give them back. Yeah. It's a $5 job, but it's okay. I take care of the schools. Yeah. They get a lot out of me, and I don't mind at all because they're the youth of today will be running our country tomorrow.
Sometime down the road, yeah.
Somewhere down the road.
Got a little note out of Wyandotte Roosevelt. Easton Mendenhall, who I believe is one half of a pair of twins.
I believe.
He signed a national letter of intent to run track at Adrian College.
Nice.
And sticking with the football theme, you might be surprised since football doesn't actually start until the fall, but you got football camps coming up. June 21st for 7th and 8th graders, and then another camp, this is 3rd through 8th, July 18th, 19th, and 20th, right in the smack dab of that summer heat.
That's for all the youth football players,
Yep.
and that's to build up the Wyandotte Indians, right?
Yep.
We can still call them the Indians, can't we?
Well, yeah, that hasn't been changed here. So,
That's good. That's good. And because from my understanding is Mr. Janeski, Jacob, is getting into that program to where they're going to be running the same offenses. I think Ken was talking about that a week ago.
At the middle school,
At the middle school level, yes. And actually, this Little League football takes you right up to middle school, and then they have to play middle school football, I think is how it works.
And, it's interesting covering the football games for work here.
I'm part of that.
I've gotten to know the Downriver League a bit, and Coach Janeski said something I think on the final episode of the Bears Den last fall, and he essentially said, "Get your wins in against us now because we're never going to be this bad again." And I've seen a few coaches in my time here at the studio And I would say he seems like a man of his word. I think I read people pretty well, and I think he will build that program back up to be successful. As his one-time coach and predecessor, Mr. Ron Adams, had it.
And you need, you got to have kids that want to play for him, which I think will work. I like him, I only knew him when he was this big.
Yeah.
And then just talking to him, I ran into him at the AD's office, and he seems to have it together.
Yeah.
So the kids want to play for him, he's got to get the bodies.
Right.
He's got to have 60-man rosters. I mean,
Yeah.
he doesn't have to, don't get me wrong, but the more powerful schools have more than one kid doing all the work.
Yeah, I mean, you can be undermanned, and I think you can perennially be a 4 and 5, 5 and 4 team, and maybe squeak into the playoffs. But if you're really going to compete for a league championship, you got to have that roster fleshed out.
Right, because my buddy, I remember saying, Jeff Henson, he's the coach of South Lyon, and we were golfing one summer, and I said, so your semifinal game, it didn't go so great. He said, we had 8 kids in shoulder harnesses. He said, we didn't expect it to go great. He said, we had 6 kids, with their,
That's rough.
I want you to tackle them, but with your left arm. So,
rough.
if you run out of bodies, you run out of bodies.
Yeah, it becomes a war of attrition. Another program here, Youth Learn to Row Camp.
I like Learn to Row. I never learned to row.
So this is 6th to 9th grade. If you're entering your 6th to 9th grade year, they've got 3 different sessions. First session is June 17th to the 28th. Registration deadline is June 14th for that first session. Session 2, July 8th through the 19th, with the registration deadline of July 5th. And the third and final session is July 29th through August 9th, with a registration date of July 26th. You can get more details on that at wine.boatclub.com.
What's it cost to register? Does it say there?
Registration is $175. There are discounts available for multiple rower households, so sign all your kids up.
Yeah.
Get them all out
I
there.
know some of my daughter's girlfriends rowed, and I remember the girl next door when I lived on Kings Highway. She rowed, got her a scholarship to college just by rowing.
It seems like an interesting and fun way to exercise. Just a little too early in the morning.
Oh, they
for
get
me.
up bright and early. But
I'm a night owl.
That's not unusual because the swimmers, or the squids as we like to call them when we were in high school, the squids, they will be at that pool at 6 a.m.
Yeah.
doing laps, and then they go to school at 8, so that, and they even have adult swimming before school starts. You can get in there like 5:30, 6 in the morning in the middle of winter and go swimming at the pool.
Not me.
Not
me.
for you?
Not
All
that
right.
early, no.
Like I said, big weekend of sports, big weekend for the baseball and the softball teams all kicking off. I think next week I'm going to get into the school and talk to Mr. Schley and see what I can get into. I have been gone for a while. Get a hold of us. Let us know your kid signed the letter of intent. We have to wrap up. We're getting the 2-minute warning here. So as we do, I'm Marty Janeski. That's we call him Odds Jones, but that's Joel Atkins. And Keno should be back next week. And if he isn't, we'll find another way to do this show. He's chasing his kids right now. They're in some kind of playoff thing with the school.
Yeah.
And Carrington, I know, is old enough to play high school ball. So he's probably chasing that right now.
I got to give a quick shout out to my son. He plays soccer at Memorial Park through AYSO, and his team's currently 4-0-1. Dramatic improvement from last season, and he even got himself a goal.
Very nice.
He got a little feisty, got a couple fouls, got thrown out of the game, but he's in the mix, and I'm proud of him.
Right. He's not standing there watching the ball go to that guy and then to that guy. How old is he now?
9.
Oh,
Yeah,
perfect.
starting to get a little more aggressive out there.
Yeah. Say, get out of my way. There's no checking in soccer, but there is.
They called him for it.
Well, did they? But I only gave him the shoulder. I didn't even clothesline him. It was fair.
Yeah, that was kind of the argument that got him tossed. I had to have a
I
talk
like
with
it.
him.
I like it. Yeah, you get no F-bombs to the ref there, son.
I didn't bust out any of those, but he raised his voice. And
Not
I
at
was like,
nine.
it's like, all right, boy, like get to the sidelines.
You got your hand in that coaching thing, or you just let
No,
him
you
go?
know, I think it would be fun, but I've never followed soccer closely enough to be like, I could do this. But if I was asked to help out, I would.
Yeah. My brother's buddy, who moved to California, and he was a big telephone guy, and I think it was I want to say DT, not DT. Who was the other? Anyway, he goes out to California, and they need a coach for soccer. He don't know anything about soccer,
Yeah.
but he played basketball out through his high school career. He goes, this is kind of the same thing. Little give and go.
Yeah, I mean,
he read a book or two, and the
Yeah.
next thing you know.
I use a lot of hockey comparisons when I'm practicing with Lincoln. Yeah, I mean, give and go. You want to get the goalie moving laterally, so yeah.
All right, well, we're wrapping up. We'll see everybody next week, and I want to say hi, Mom. And everybody, thanks for watching, and get us some info. Get us some info on your kids. Local Sports Wrap Up at gmail.com.